Hello friends and welcome to another cozy diaries. I also got my hair cut, so it's gone like really curly, but also just looks a bit crazy. As my mum would say, I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. But as I'm recording this, I am just packing some orders, some of your journal charms, and they are all very autumnal ones. So we've got the acorn ones and the leaf and sparkle. So thank you for your orders. And I'm also listening to the Quicksilver audiobook because obviously Brimstone comes out very soon. So I'm just quickly re-listening so I know what happens. But yeah, we've got a busy day because I want to try and get loads of Patreon stuff done. So yeah, I hope you enjoy joining me through the week as I'm trying to be as productive as possible. So I'm just packing up, well, the first batch of Patreon rewards for October. So sorry if you can hear my sticker machine going off in the background. So I always do my Patreon rewards in batches because the way that Patreon works is your subscription doesn't renew at the start of every month, but whenever you signed up. So I always send out obviously everyone who's signed up near the start of the month because I know that they're sticking around for that month. I'll do another batch later on when other people's subscriptions have gone through. So thank you to my lovely patrons for giving me this big job to do every month. Although I do really like packing everything up for you and such. I've done the first lot of the first sheet and then I'm now working on printing the second sheet, and then we will have the other two sheets to do. So I've got a lot of printing to do before I can start actually packing them. But yeah, they turn out really cute. I also have on my Patreon every month an exclusive video and also a podcast and the digital download. So if you just want to get like the digital goodies, then you can join for those. And also when you join, you should always join via basically anything apart from the Apple app, because Apple will put on a charge to your subscription, which I don't get, Patreon doesn't get, it just goes straight to them. I think it's like a couple of pounds, but it adds up. So yeah, definitely join in like an internet browser instead of Patreon, but you can still use the app after that to access everything, but just join not via the app because it will be cheaper for you guys. So yeah, I'm going to carry on printing and then I'll be able to show you everything that's going inside this month. Okay, I have printed all of the sticker sheets now for this little batch. So I'm going to pack this one up and then hopefully all of these will also be sent today. There is also all of the quotes as well, so I need to add those. These are like the last of the stickers. So here are all the finished little piles, I guess, before I start packing them. So every single one is slightly different depending on the ephemera, which I think is quite fun because then everybody gets something a little bit different. Obviously the sticker sheets are like the main thing anyway. These are almost like just a little something extra that you can get inside that I've kind of picked out that I think will go with the stickers that I made. So I got a really fun package in the mail. This is something that I pre-ordered quite a while ago, so I kind of forgot that I had it coming, to be honest. But it's basically A Year of Junk Journaling book by Martina Calvi, and I just really wanted to see what it was about, really, and kind of just have a go at some fun prompts because I don't tend to do a lot of like traditional junk journaling, I guess. I do use like bits of vintage things and found things in my journal, which you probably see me do, but yeah, I've never do like official junk journaling. So I just thought it'd be fun to get this and to maybe try do a little YouTube series where we have a go at some of the prompts. There's some really fun ones in here. I don't want to spoil it in case you're planning on getting the book, and also I don't want to spoil it for some of the upcoming prompts that I'll be doing. But like each page has things to collect and like what to do to create, and then it has like her version. So this one is Seasons Changing, and there's not every single one that I'll want to do, but there are definitely some that seem really fun. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. I don't know when those videos are coming out because, as I said, it's only just come today, but yeah, I want to get started to share some of my junk journaling journey with you, and I am going to be doing it in my normal journal, or I might try and do some in my like bigger journal so that I can stick more like bigger things down. I'm not really sure, but yeah, let me know as well if you also got this book, if you're planning on doing some, and maybe which prompts are your favourite. I just thought that this would be a really fun thing for us to do together, and then you could always try some of the prompts too, even if you don't necessarily have the book. But yeah, I'm excited to get started. So the plan is to do some journaling because there are a couple of spreads that I want to catch up on in my journal. So we're going to do those. And if I get into the swing of things, then I might end up doing extra, but we'll see. Yeah, so let's get started. So I'm going to be doing some journaling next, which is always a cozy and fun time. And I just so happen to have 2 Gilmore Girls candles, which are very autumnal scents and themed. And whilst I was lighting these candles, I did actually cut it out, but basically I nearly set everything on fire by accident, but the match like snapped in half. And yeah, it just didn't end so well. It was fine, like nothing actually burned. Luckily, everything dropped into the candle itself, so I was kind of saved there, but I was like, oop, I need to be a lot more careful next time. So as you can see, I've got some really cute autumnal paper here, which I just kind of love, like plaid and gingham. They always remind me of like picnics and cute things like that. So when they're in autumn colours, well, even better. So I'm using this for the main part of the journal spread. And the journal spread today is actually going to be one all about Taylor Swift's new album, because I am a diehard Swiftie. So if you are not a diehard Swiftie, then I apologise. You will just get to enjoy some journaling. I did pre-order the album basically as soon as it was announced, because I was just super excited to have new Taylor Swift music. And I'm not gonna lie, it's not my favourite like artwork. I really love the album. It's definitely, you know, not my favourite, but not every Taylor Swift album has to be your favourite album. And also, if you are a Taylor Swift fan, you also don't have to like every single album. But I actually do really like this album. I have been listening to it a lot. I feel like it's a really fun one. It's got some absolute bops on there. But I'm definitely like a folklore girly through and through. Those 2 albums, Folklore and Evermore, basically got me through COVID, so they were a godsend. And during that time as well, that's when I was kind of like full force into my pen paling. So I just have really good memories of like being forced to stay at home, listening to Taylor Swift and pen paling all day long, which was just really fun. So maybe that's why I like the album so much. But yeah, I don't really like the album artwork for this one. I love all the other like variants. I think they're so nice. But this one is just not my favourite. I don't know why, but it just isn't. So I really struggled with what to do with this journal spread, because I didn't really have any like turquoisey teal stationery other than this one washi tape and some of this paper that I just randomly found. On reflection, I maybe should have printed out some of the other album variants, and then maybe I could have done a spread around that, and then I could have gone with a different theme. But in the moment, I was thinking, right, I feel like I should do these colours because these are kind of what's associated with this album. And I have done lots of journaling with Taylor Swift albums before, and I always try and make them match like the vibe of the album and all the colours. And I'm going to show you some of them in a little bit as well. So I just randomly had this idea that I was going to make a record shape, and then I would use my silver letters to just put the title of the album on there. And then I knew that I wanted to add lots of like cute little stars in there. And then whilst I was doing that, I figured that the actual leftover cutout bits were really cute. So I was like, that might break up the orange a little bit, because this was like all I'd pretty much planned out. I was like, okay, now what? I don't really know what else to put on this spread. So I was really trying hard to figure this one out. It was a bit of a challenge, I'm not gonna lie. But when it all comes together at the end, it does look alright. It's not my favourite, but it does end up looking cute. I also found these like holographic stickers that are all almost like little strips of sparkles and butterflies. So I figured I would just whack them on there to try and just add a little bit more detail. I felt like it was looking very empty and it just needed more. So I figured that might add a little bit of depth to the spread. So if you are a Swiftie, then you'll have to let me know which song is your favourite from the album. I've honestly changed my mind lots, but I feel like The Fate of Ophelia is such a banger. It's such a fun, catchy song, and I really like the music video as well. And then I also love the song Honey and Eldest Daughter. So yeah, let me know which are your favorites. I feel like mine just change all the time, so it might be a different story by next week. So I just decided to carry on adding more stars because I just had this thought in my mind that if I just kept adding stars, then it would all turn out okay in the end. And I used this orange pen to try and do the title in the same font as the album, and I did not do it very well. So yeah, I didn't love that, but you know, sometimes things go well, sometimes they don't. But I think it's important to remember in your journal that, you know, things don't have to look perfect, and it's good to just accept that, because otherwise you might be scared to create journal spreads in case you're scared of getting it wrong. So whenever I create these album spreads, I tend to just write the song list somewhere on the spread, and then sometimes I just do a decorative spread, and then other times I will write down my thoughts depending on if it's a new release, or maybe if I'm journaling about an album that I just love that I've had for a while. It just depends really. So yeah, I decided to mainly do the writing just to cover up some of the blank space on the spread, because I've said in a previous video that it really stresses me out when I have lots of like white page area, if that makes sense, because I don't know, I just don't like my journal to look like that, and I like to make it look really busy and there's a lot going on. So yeah, as I said, this isn't my favorite, but that's okay. I still think it's cute, and I am really happy that I made it so I can kind of commemorate the new album in my journal. So this isn't my favorite Taylor Swift spread. I feel like I've done way better ones in the past. I do have a lot actually, if I'm being honest, because I went through a phase where I did all the old albums like as spreads. But yeah, I thought I'd show you some of my other Taylor Swift spreads. And if you've been here a while, then you would have seen me make these. So this was when the Tortured Poets Department came out, and I did like 3 entire spreads for this one. So that was like the first one, and then I did this one, and then I also did this one, which might be my favorite because there are a lot of songs to get through on this double album. So yeah, I do have a lot of Taylor Swift spreads. And then in my other journal, I have my Taylor Swift spreads from the actual Eras tour too. Like, this is one of my favorites because I just had the best time there basically. And again, I did like 3 spreads for it. And this is like how close we were to her. So yeah, we were very near the front. I did that spread, which was all about like the Folklore set, because Folklore is my favorite Taylor Swift album. I am one of those people. And then I did this one because I had a bunch of the stickers from her like merch store, which came as part of ordering some of the Eras Tour merch. And I got one of the t-shirts and hoodie. Oh, there's even another spread. Because when I went as Midnights, and I wore this like blue sparkly dress, and then I also had blue Crocs that I bought specifically for it because I wanted to be comfy. And you can't really see there, but I basically put like jewels on them as like the gibbets. So it was like Bejeweled, because I really love that song. But yeah, you can only just see. But yeah, I had a really fun time. So yeah, they were just some of my other Taylor Swift spreads. I do have more, as I said, but I don't know where they are in those journals. They're somewhere, but I can't be bothered to look through them all. So yeah, that's my little Taylor Swift journal spread done. And then I might catch up on some reading spreads because, as I mentioned in my last video, I have so many to catch up on, and I've read like 3 more books since then. So I now have a total of 9, I think, that I need to do. So I'm like, maybe I should just do one now. Or I might wait till it's a bit later so I can do like some cozy nighttime journaling. So I'm going to be using some of my stickers from Marigony Art. So I thought I would also use the washi tapes, and I thought I'd just quickly show you my collection of her washies. I definitely bought a lot of her stuff like in her first shop updates, and then I've been only buying them if it's one that I really like, because yeah, I have a lot and I don't actually use them that often because they are quite like niche, I guess, for certain themes. So we'll pick the sticker sheet and then we'll see which washies will go with it. So I basically have this folder where I keep all of my stickers from her, and I want to use some of the ones from the previous Halloween collection because I feel like there are some spooky ones that I can use. Ah yes, spooky things. So this is actually going to be a reading spread. So these will be perfect. And we'll grab this little one. Maybe this one too. We might end up using it, you never know. And then I'm also going to use this sticker sheet. Sorry if you can hear Ralph howling outside. He is harassing me, so I've had to lock him outside the room. And this one sticker is going to be perfect for the book. So you shall see which book it is in a second. So I'm thinking of maybe this one. It's like a Halloweeny spooky vibe. And I was also thinking this, because when you see the book cover, you'll know. So I always print off the book covers of the reading spreads I need to make, and I just put them in here so I can just grab them. And I do this whenever I fill in my Hobonichi of the books that I've read. So this is the book we'll be doing, Assistant to the Villain. So it's like a purpley colour. This one definitely goes like more, but maybe we'll use this one as well. So yeah, that is the book we shall be doing. Also, as I'm filming this, the sun is like very close to setting, so I'm hoping these candles light everything up enough. And I do also have my little lamp on, so fingers crossed. And I'm now going to switch over to future voiceover Lizzie so that I can focus on the journaling. Okay, voiceover Lizzie here, and as I said, we are here doing a reading journal spread. I've been reading so many spooky books. Well, not necessarily like spooky, but there is some that have been spooky, but mainly just a ton of fantasy. And yeah, I'm having a great reading time at the moment. I mentioned that I have so many to catch up on, so yeah, we're just trying to get one done now, but I have a lot left to do. And my current read is currently The Ascended, which is a chunky book, but I'm having so much fun. Like, the plot in this story is so good, and it is really honestly like a true fun romantasy, but definitely with like a good balance between the romance and the fantasy and the plot and all that stuff. But anyway, we're not there to talk about that book. That will be a future time. This book is The Assistant to the Villain, which was on my autumn TBR. even though I did stick the wrong book cover in my TBR. But anyway, so I think this is a trilogy, and I did enjoy it, but at times I found it a bit boring. I wasn't like that invested in the plot. I felt like not much was going on. I feel like these books are just not really my types of books. I don't know how to explain it, but it almost reminded me in a way similar to Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, where the plot isn't really plotting, they're just kind of going about their daily life. And yeah, for me, it wasn't doing it. So I did enjoy it, and there were times where I was like really into the book, and I did like the villain, the main male character, but the female main character, I thought she was kind of annoying. And there was a big plot twist at the end, but I did kind of see it coming, and I kind of knew that's where it was heading, so it wasn't too much of a surprise. But I did finish the book. But yeah, I'm not planning on reading the rest of the series unless I really have nothing to read, because it did not make me want to pick up book number 2 after finishing it. And my favourite character is definitely Kingsley, so if you've read it, you know the frog, the main character, who was the best thing in this book. I wish I had a frog sticker actually to put on this spread. But anyway, even though I didn't love the book, it was a good spooky Halloween read for the vibes, and I'll be honest, this spread is so cute. I really, really love this spread. I feel like whenever I have a book that I don't like, I somehow just end up making a really nice spread for it. I feel like these stickers just encompass the book perfectly, and the little frame with the haunted house, that is basically what I imagined the villain's mansion to look like in my mind whilst I was reading it, so it just made sense to use that sticker. You'll have to let me know if you've read this book, because I know a lot of people really love this series, so I feel like I may be one of the few that didn't enjoy it. And I really wish that I had enjoyed it more, obviously, because then I could have read the whole series, and it would have meant I would have plenty of people to talk to about this book. But yeah, sometimes that's just the way it is, and everybody obviously has different tastes in books. But for me, I figured out that I definitely just need a little bit more high stakes. But to be honest, the book wasn't like a huge book, so I didn't feel like it was too much of a commitment, and that's probably why I didn't DNF it. But I was also hoping that maybe more was going to happen, and I really wanted a little bit more romance for me as well, so maybe that's why.